Aye. Full name, date of birth, please.
Stephanie Santiago.
All right, man, you were arrested yesterday, charged with possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, unlawful use of means of transportation, a Class 5 felony. The public defender's office appointed to represent you. You're being released on that case on supervised release to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, September 16th at 8:30. On your release order will be a phone number for pretrial services. Within a few days of your release, call that number and touch base with them.
Okay.
Now you have a case that started in October of 2018.
Yes, sir.
You have a warrant from Moon Valley Justice Court. You were charged with giving false information to law enforcement, a misdemeanor, and possession of drug paraphernalia, a misdemeanor.
Yes, sir.
When you didn't show up, and the last warrant that was issued was March 7th of 2023. You've had 4 arrest warrants. 3 were quashed. This one wasn't. It has a $500 bond.
Okay.
I reduced that to $100. But your court date in that case will be in the next, here, I'll tell you when it'll be. It'll give you plenty of time to get to go to your felony case that you got.
Okay.
Your next court date on the Moon Valley case is September 4th. So you should be able to get that resolved because it's like 10 days later before it's September 16th will be the felony case. So you should be out and able to go.
Okay.
If you don't get out from Moon Valley Justice Court, then you've got a good excuse for not making, and just you can tell your attorney, and they can request that you be given they can continue the case until you're out.
Okay, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. When this case was done, it was during COVID. When this case has.
Yes.
And I had spoken to the prosecutor, and the prosecutor, because I had just done 11 months in county, and she told me that she was giving me time served.
Well, then somebody made a mistake because these warrants are still in effect.
Okay.
The one that today isn't in effect, but this last warrant was issued March 7th, 2023, a year ago last March.
Yes, and then I had spoken to the prosecutor, and because she had called me and she had seen that I had the time way before that, and it was right around the time, and she told me, okay, well, we're going to give you time served.
And I listen. Remind somebody. I can't tell you things that aren't a matter of record, and the records that are kept on court appearances and arrest warrants being issued when somebody doesn't show up are usually so accurate that unless you can show me some paperwork where concerning a particular incident that they obviously made a mistake,
yes,
I'm going to affirm the amount, what's been done previously. The only thing I've done is I've reduced the $500 bond on the Moon Valley Justice Court matter to $100.
And I can't
So if you can bond out, then good. Make sure you make your court dates.
Okay, I can't be released on my own recognizance then.
Well, no, because this is the 4th arrest warrant that's been issued. All of the previous ones had been coerced when you showed up for court sometime in the future after the warrant was issued, and told the judge that something that compelled the judge to say, okay, we'll coerce the warrant and give you a new date. Then you didn't show up at the next date.
I'll show up.
I know. Listen, ma'am, I don't have time. I have some other cases I have to get to. There's nothing I'm going to do to change the fact that I reduced the Moon Valley amount to $100, and if you don't post it, you should see them in the next 4, 5, 6 days. It's whatever date I gave you. Tomorrow is September 1st. So the next 4 days, 5 days, you'll be there, and I'm sure you'll be released in plenty of time to make the new felony arrest date that I gave you on the 16th or something. All right. All right. Heather Mockamer. And then after Ms. Mockamer will be Christopher Edmonds. Full name, date of birth, please.
Heather Mockamer, 11.
All right, ma'am, you've been charged by the Maricopa County Attorney with direct complaint of the following offenses: possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony; possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6. This is alleged to have occurred on April 11th of last year. This warrant was issued on April 26th of this year. I am releasing you. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm releasing you on your own recognizance to appear Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, September 16th at 8:30.
Thank you.
There you go. Full name, date of birth?
Edmonds Christopher John.
All right, you, sir, were arrested earlier today. You were arrested for theft of means of transportation, a Class 4 felony. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Pretrial Services has recommended that you be released to attend your court appearances. It seems like you've got a good job you don't want to lose, and we'd like to resolve this thing in a way that somehow or another make sure that you don't raise the number of felony convictions you've got from 10 to 11. So I'm going to release you on supervised release to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, September 16th at 8:30. Conditions of your release include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime or having contact with victims or witnesses. On that release order is the phone number of Pretrial Services. Sometime within the next few days of your release, call that number and touch base with them, all right?
Yes.
I mean, you'll just have to identify yourself, give them the case number. They'll have it on file right there. They may ask you a few questions, but you've got to do that to be released, okay?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you're going to be released without doing that, but you need to do it so that...
Yes, sir.
All right, there you go. Brianna Hodgkins, and then it'll be Tiara Matthews. Full name, date of birth, please.
Brianna Hodgkins, 0.
All right, ma'am, you were arrested earlier today, charged with possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6. Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you. You're being released on your own recognizance to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, on September 16th at 8:30. There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Sarah Lynn Kyle. And then it will be Mercedes Martinez. Full name, date of birth.
Sarah Lynn Kyle.
All right, ma'am. You were arrested earlier today, charged with misdemeanor assault, and one count, and the other count is criminal damage by defacement, a misdemeanor. If you're entitled to have an attorney appointed to represent you, that'll be at the next hearing. This is what I'm going to do. Usually in cases like this, the person that is charged with committing the offense, even if they're married to the victim or they own the house, we order that they not return to the scene of the crime or have contact with the alleged victim. You have absolutely no kind of criminal history, and you seem to be, from what I can tell when I read the police report, a civilized person. So I'm going to release you on your own recognizance to appear in Superior Court on September 19th at 9 a.m., or Peoria Municipal Court, actually, it's a misdemeanor, September 19th at 9 a.m. Conditions of your release do not include not going back there, but you're not to initiate contact with the victim or have physical contact with the victim or witnesses without their consent, okay? And if an order of protection is issued and you're served with a copy, you must comply with its terms. That would tell me and tell everybody that if an order of protection is issued and you're served with a copy, that you're not supposed to come back there, probably. If it doesn't happen, for all I know, you guys will wind up going out to dinner later tonight. I don't know. I hope that's what happens.
I spoke with him this afternoon.
Well, okay, and I just, if there's another problem there, somebody's gonna have to post a bond to get out, okay? All right, there you go.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Mercedes Martinez, and then it'll be, Tierra Matthews, then I thought we did that already.
Not yet, sir.
Miss Martinez, full name, date of birth.
Mercedes Martinez, 12.
All right, ma'am, let me see, let me get your case up here. They have filed charges against you, the county attorney has. They allege that in December of 2023, you committed the following offenses. You were driving while under the influence with a passenger under the age of 15. That's a Class 6 felony. There's 2 counts of that, I guess. There's more than one. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Here, let me. 2 counts of aggravated DUI with passengers under the age of 15. All of them are Class 6 felonies, and I'm not sure how many passengers they were. I just think it's 2 counts. You had 2 passengers. Pretrial services says you're capable of hiring your own attorney. If that's not correct, request an appointment of attorney at any subsequent court proceeding. I'm releasing you on your own recognizance to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, September 16th at 8:30.
Okay.
All right, there you
Your
go.
Honor.
Tierra Matthews, and then it'll be the Spanish speaker. Full name, date of birth?
Quiplane Matthews.
All right, you have, let me get the number up here, 13. A direct complaint has been filed by the county attorney's office charging you with aggravated, well, let's see, what is this? Tierra, wait a minute, let me get your, here it is. I started reading the wrong case. It is a direct complaint that the prosecutor used to file this case. They allege that you committed the offense of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony, and misdemeanor driving while under the influence. Pretrial services says you're financially capable of hiring your own counsel. If that's not correct, you can request a counsel to be appointed in any subsequent court proceeding. I am releasing you on what we call supervised release to appear in Superior Court on September 16th at 8:30 in the morning. On your release order, you can see there's a phone number for pretrial services. Sometime in the next few days after you're released, call and touch base with them, all right? There you go.
Supervised release is what?
That means that you don't have to post money to get out. Okay, it's not the same as OR. You've got to report to somebody. You report to the pretrial services. You call them and touch base with them. Make sure you're available to talk to them if they want to talk to you. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.